I'm happy to have joining me this morning Sebastian Rejak. He is the director at the American Jewish Committee's Central Europe office. Sebastian, thank you very much. And Melissa was just reporting about Warsaw. That's where you join us from this morning. 2 million plus refugees now from Ukraine in Poland. Can you describe the situation where you are in the most need at this moment?
Good morning, Poppy. Thank you for having me. So the situation is we're having a steady flow of refugees, crowds of people crossing the border, 7 or 8 border crossings, and we actually the AJC team visited 2 border crossings last week and 3 refugee reception centers. So basically what you see is human faces. There is nothing spectacular about that. You see faces of people who need basic help, and the first thing they get is a warm meal, and you can get approached by somebody asking you if you could give them a lift to Warsaw or some other city where they may have family. Many of them do have families in Poland. So the first reaction is these very basic things. And of course, we went there also with supplies, with non-perishable foodstuffs and hygiene products. We're continuing that. There is a crisis management team coordinated by Jewish organizations in Warsaw. AJC, as you have rightly mentioned, has established this Stand with Ukraine fund, and so far we've raised $1.7 million.
Wow. You know, it was remarkable. I was listening to a top official from Poland on this weekend with Jake Tapper, you know, talking about not only are these refugees welcome into Poland, Sebastian, they are given a number of things in addition to the emergency assistance organizations like yours give them. They're given identification, the ability to set up small businesses, for example, and to really sort of restart their lives in many ways. And I wonder what those refugees are saying to your team on the ground. Do they expect to stay? Do they feel like they have lost their home, you know, in Ukraine potentially for good?
So out of the 2.2 million refugees that have crossed the border into Poland, some 500,000 have already left Poland for some other countries. In most cases, that's Germany, but also Spain. A lot of people are traveling north, Estonia and Finland, where they all also have families. What they're telling us is we are finally in a safe place. So Poland, when they cross the border, it's the first place that they feel they are safe. Some are getting help from local government institutions, from NGOs and individuals, those thousands of brave volunteers. Of course, after the first day or two, they start thinking about, okay, what's next? Should I stay here or continue westwards? Or should I think about continuing my life in Poland, or rather thinking about going back to Ukraine when the war is over? There's a million scenarios,
Yeah.
and it differs on a case-by-case basis.
Sebastian, the president of Poland this week comparing Russia's attacks on Ukraine to Nazi forces during World War II, saying just yesterday that besieged Mariupol, and we've now seen these just stark aerial images of Mariupol, look like Warsaw in 1944 after the Germans bombed houses and killed civilians with no mercy at all. I know you sent your group a letter to the White House, to President Biden earlier this month, saying please consider additional steps to support Ukraine's struggle to defend itself. We hear the White House is going to announce additional sanctions on Russia today, tomorrow. I wonder what you believe is most necessary from the U.S. right now.
It's actually strengthening the sanctions and making sure that these sanctions are all-encompassing. We need also those sanctions to target Russian energy sources and the trade with Russia. The U.S. has been doing a lot with Europe. It's a bit different and more difficult because European countries, member of the European Union, quite a number of them rely on energy supplies, gas and fuel from Russia. So that it's hard to imagine this will happen overnight, like that Europe will apply hard sanctions against Russia. But definitely, energy is one of those areas where we have to be tough. The West has to be tough. If that does not happen, Russia will continue getting funds on a daily basis. It's hundreds of millions of dollars, and of course that supports their military effort.
Sebastian Rejak, thank you for your time, and thank you to what your team is doing on the ground.